Welcome to Black Dragon Gaming. We're back with another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video, and today I want to talk about the balance on the servers. Or should I say lack of balance on many of the servers. One of the biggest complaints that I hear is how players are on a server, then all of the whales and top players all get together and all seem to merge into one faction. If you're not lucky enough to be in one of these factions, you tend to have to be forced to be an ally to these factions and do what they ask you to do, or you just get wiped out and your season can effectively end within the first week or two. This only ever seems to lead to a very negative gaming experience, which just forces players to get frustrated and eventually quit the game. But all players deserve to have a good gaming experience and enjoy their season from start to finish, no matter whether they spend money or are just completely free to play. One way this could be addressed is when they announce the start of the new season, which is normally I think 1 or 2 weeks before the start, they give you the option to choose if you want to go to a roleplay server or non-roleplay server. What they could also do is ask you which faction you wish to join. So you can ask your other warband or faction members where they want to go. You can all select which faction you want to go to for the start of the next season. Players would then be allocated to a server based on those numbers right across the board, so every faction would have an equal number or fairly equal number of players in each faction. And on top of that, once you're locked into that faction for the new season, you cannot change, so that way people can't just decide, I want to go to this faction, we're going to make this the all-powerful faction so nobody else can compete with us. For any new players or players that want to change servers, what they can do is ask you which faction you wish to choose, and then you can be allocated to a server that has an availability for that faction. But of course it won't be a perfect system and players will leave, so there will be some imbalance at some stage, but at least at the start of the season, everybody has a fair chance of competing. Another thing that could be done is a slight change to the war system. That way it can give everyone a chance to get their attack and defense in place. The current system works on a bunch of timers which really don't make a lot of sense for the most part. When you first declare war, you get a 6-hour preparation time. All this is just 6 hours to wait. It doesn't actually do anything. Then you run into a 24-hour time where what the bonus is it just removes your minus 70% siege buff when you're in enemy territory. Then you run into a 12-hour cooldown period, which again doesn't really serve any purpose. And after that, they add another 2-hour timer, which is like another cooldown before you can start the next war, effectively meaning a 14-hour cooldown. This system could work a lot better if that first 6 hours was simply, say for example, Mordor wanted to declare war on Erebor. They make the declaration and that gives both sides a chance to set their defenses. What could happen in that period is you get a bonus to the speed of building your forts and setting up your defenses. Warbands and fellowships would then have a chance to enter into that war and join the fight on whatever front they're fighting on, and this would also be the only way that you could enter an enemy territory. Once the war starts, both sides would have 24 hours to make as much ground into the other area as they can possibly get. This brings a lot more strategy and organisation into play as well, so the better organised factions will be the ones that get the victory. The only thing that could stop the battle is if one side was to take the other player's keep, and that way they secured the territory, in which time it could actually relocate everyone out of that territory that doesn't own it, and this could allow the winning side to clear any other tiles that are in the area without needing to build extra forts or connect to those tiles. There could also be prizes allocated based on the outcome of the war as well. And once that 24-hour period is finished, everyone can be licking their wounds. Then we go into that 12-hour recovery period. Rather than just having it as a cooldown, it could actually serve some kind of purpose, giving both sides the chance to go in, have a look at your wounded troops, even give a speed up for healing, so that way you could heal within that 12 hours, and then go through your troops, and maybe give us some extra slots to build more troops again, and even be able to do that a little bit faster during that 12-hour period. Once that's all done, then you've got the 2-hour cooldown, then players can do it all over again. But I'd also like to see a limit of maybe 2 wars on a faction at one time, which will also prevent multiple factions from trying to team up on one of them. These are just a few ideas that I have just to try and help balance servers and make it a much fairer system for everybody. But I'd like to hear from everyone in the comments just to find out what you guys think and see if you have any other ideas that maybe I haven't thought of and we could add to this little idea, and hope the devs actually get a look at this. If you have enjoyed this video, a like would be very much appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on Lord of the Rings Rise to War. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again very soon.